Overthinking leads to some serious mental issues. These beliefs that you have in your mind, these serve as the foundation to why you overthink. These beliefs of what you think is possible, your self image, what you actually think that you as a person can achieve or your potential. So, what is overthinking? Overthinking is a lack of control or confidence in an outcome. So, we know there are a lot of things that we can't control. So, how do we get this confidence in the outcome? Well, confidence is simply by doing reps or acquiring experience. It's just doing something over and over and over until it just becomes second nature. Yeah, that's easy to do something small, like a very minor task that I'm overthinking about. But what about a major life decision? What about a decision where I may be quitting my job because it's a toxic environment, or I've been working on a side business that I'm ready to just take off the ground? Or maybe it's the decision to pack up your entire family and move across the country for an opportunity. Well, despite the magnitude of these decisions, it's done exactly the same way. It's taking these micro decisions, these very small decisions that you make on a day to day basis and making the tough choice. It's doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you know they're the right thing to do. That's how you gain the confidence in these situations. That's how you gain the reps of making tough decisions. The more you do this, the more it's going to feel much easier. You're going to feel way less stress when a very tough, challenging situation presents itself to you. So, back to the original statement, why does overthinking cause so many issues? After being a coach for years, I get a firsthand experience of how this absolutely pummels people on a day to day basis, both physically and mentally. So, physically, the simplest way to explain it is that if I'm teaching somebody a complicated movement, something like a power clean or something that requires a lot of coordination, there's a lot of moving parts. So, when I demonstrate this, I show them the movement and then we break it down piece by piece. I have them do it with me nice and slow. And then as we progress through the movement, we start to add pieces. I show them one last time and then I have them do it on their own. It's almost like clockwork. As they start to do it on their own, everything breaks down. The first thing they ask me, is this right? And as they're going through the movement, they keep asking, is this right? Is this right? They have lost complete confidence in themselves just because they don't have the reps yet. They are overthinking so much to the point that they want to control every single aspect and make it perfect rather than just completing the movement, being okay that it's not perfect. They find themselves with the inability to perform a movement that they just did not even 1 minute ago. And it's not for lack of ability, it's for this perfection and this control that they must have. Instead of just doing the movement and getting reps and getting the experience, they are so focused on doing it without mistake that they don't even allow themselves the opportunity to make a mistake. More importantly, they don't even allow themselves the ability to complete the movement. What it has essentially done is created inaction, so much thought leading to no result. Now, this is a prime example of what overthinking does to you physically. This is just exercise, so it's very, very minor, but this is how it works in your everyday performance. What you actually believe in your mind that you are capable of doing, what you are confident in, you will be able to do. There may be a period of learning, but if you fully believe that you can do something physically, and I mean fully believe, 100% believe that you can do something, it will happen. It takes the slightest amount of doubt for everything to crumble. What's even worse than this is that this is exactly what happens in your everyday life. This is exactly what happens when people find themselves in an awful situation where they have regret and they can't pinpoint what happened. There's a cycle that everyone has been through at least once, including myself. It's very, very easy to fall into this. If you're not careful, this becomes a habit. And 10 years down the road, you're looking back, all you have is regret and a ton of ideas, but no action taken on any of them. The cycle goes like this. You get this idea, you get this inspiration to do something. Maybe you're going to make a change to lose weight. Maybe you're going to pursue a new career. You have this idea and you start to think about it and you start to think about all the possibilities of how this can change your life, how you can provide for people in your life, what it can do to your mentality. It's a complete life change. You start to marinate on this idea and it takes you from this level to this level and you can just physically see yourself ascending through life. And then you get to this point where you built up so much momentum that the only thing that's stopping you is just execution. It's taking action. And this here is the most critical part because once you build that momentum and once you get that motivation, because motivation is fleeting, you've got to use it. You have to immediately take action. But so few people do. And this is eventually what happens. You start to talk yourself out of the reasons why this won't work, the problems with the idea. You start to think about your other responsibilities in life and why they just won't work in this situation. You eventually decide that this is not a good idea. You write it off and you start back all over again. You start to look for the next idea and the next idea. And this happens repeatedly over and over and over, and you never take action. And this is why it is such a major problem for people. Overthinking is destroying the life that you want. It's destroying the things that you could attain. It's destroying what you could become. So, what can you do about it? I got 3 things for you. Number 1, do hard things. Now, I'm talking about do these things that you don't want to do, but you know you need to do to be exactly who you want to be. It's getting up in the morning before work and going for a run. It's declining the cookie that's been sitting at the office that people are offering you, but you know it's not the right decision. It's taking a chance on yourself and putting yourself in a position to advance your career, to make a better life for your family, especially when you're nervous, you don't have the confidence, but you know it's what you need to do. Making these micro decisions repeatedly on a daily basis, that's what's going to give you the confidence to make decisions faster. That's what's going to give you the ability to eliminate overthinking. Number 2 is be stoic. Now, stoic by definition is someone who can endure pain and endure hardship without complaining and without showing their emotions. Now, the easiest way to do this is to remove yourself from the situation and look at it from a third person view. Look at it as if you are watching the movie play out and you are the main character, but you're just watching it. This is a way that you can remove emotion from the decision. You can see it from a point of logic. And to be honest, it can actually show you the true magnitude of the decision. And is it really that big of a decision that you're making it? It can lead you to answer the question, is this decision really that serious? But just say it is a major decision. This calm approach is going to give you the frame of mind that you can go into a tough situation and manage it much more effectively. And then 3, maybe the easiest to implement, is to set a deadline. It's like I talked about earlier. When you put yourself in this situation where you're running on momentum and you've got a lot of motivation because you have this new idea or this new journey that you're about to start, do not allow yourself to sit in it much longer to talk yourself out of it. Inevitably, that is what's going to happen with all of your ideas, no matter how good they are. You're going to put it off and put it off and put it off, and then eventually you're going to have no momentum. You're not going to be motivated to do it because it just doesn't seem that important to you anymore. Set a deadline, 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days, it doesn't matter. But if you have a decision placed upon you, big or small, give yourself a set time and make the decision by that point. Eliminate overthinking and do what others won't.